היום 10 ימים שהם שבוע אחד ו3 ימים לעומר. Today is 10 days, which is 1 week and 3 days to the עומר. תפארת שבגבורה, glory and might. 3 contemplations between man and Hashem. יתבונן האדם בדעתו במעשיו השלמים של הבורא יתברך. Contemplate the perfect actions, the whole actions of the Creator, blessed be He, בעולם בכלל ובעמו בפרט, with the whole entire world and with you specifically. איך שהם מתגלה תפארתו של הבורא יתברך. From there you will see the glory of the Creator, blessed be He, ובזה יבוא ליראת השם יתברך. From this you shall come to awe and fear of Hashem, כדוגמת מה שברא מים ואש שיסודותיהם מנוגדים. The fact that Hashem created water and fire, and then at the root they are separate, right? They're completely opposing forces. וזיווגם יחד וברא מהם את השמיים. And Hashem unified them together and created from that unification the heavens, which are rooted in Tiferet. And that is as a whole. Specifically, more fine details, contemplate מה שמחבר הקדוש ברוך הוא בין זכר לנקבה, how Hashem unifies between man and female, masculine and feminine, or male and female, שיסודותיהם מנוגדים, that they're rooted in opposing forces, right? One is chesed and one is din. ומשלים לעשותם אב ואם להוציא מהם בנים, and Hashem unifies them and makes them one, makes them perfect and whole, and brings from that unification children, which is an act of Tiferet. ובזה יבוא ליראת השם יתברך. From there you should come to awe of Hashem. נמצא משלים ומשיג את יראתו. You will be rectifying and completing your ira, your awe of Hashem, which is rooted in Gevurah, by way of a contemplation on Hashem's perfect and whole gloriful actions of the Creator, which are rooted in Tiferet. Second contemplation, have in your mind בפרטות מעשיו של הבורא יתברך, במה שכלולים מהם בעצמם מחסד ודין, מהם מתגלה תפארתו. Think about the actions of Hashem, that all of the actions of Hashem, they are made up of both chesed and din, of loving kindness and of limitations and strictness and judgment. And from that unification of both sides, their glory and the splendor of Hashem is revealed, which is the Tiferet. How the whole entire intention of all of these actions are to arouse the creations to come to awe of Hashem. For example, like for example, the plague of blood that Hashem did to the Egyptians. It was a plague for the Egyptians, and it was healing for Israel. Right? וכן בקריעת ים סוף, so too in the splitting of the sea. ישראל עברו בו והמצרים הוטבעו בו. In the splitting of the sea, Israel walked through the sea, and the Egyptians were drowned in that same sea. נמצא שבהיותו משיג את תפארת הבורא יתברך יבוא ליראתו. From contemplating on the acts of Hashem that are made up of chesed and din, which is Tiferet, you will come to ira, to more awe of Hashem, which is rooted in Gevurah. Third contemplation between man and God. עוד יוסיף להתבונן בתפארתו של הבורא יתברך. Contemplate more on the splendor and the glory of Hashem יתברך, the תפארת. כיצד גדודי מעלה לאלפים לרבבות עומדים ומפארים בכל עת לשמו הגדול. How there is millions and billions of different creations up above, angels and stars and planets and everything, praising Hashem at every given moment. וכולם עונים באימה ואומרים ביראה. All of them answer with awe and fear, and they say out, ברוך כבוד השם ממקומו. Blessed is the honor of Hashem. וכזאת יוסיף יתבונן במה שביארו לנו חז"ל. Contemplate not only at that, but add more what the rabbis say in מסכת חגיגה, בתפארתו של מקום, right, in the glory of the place, so, meaning the glory, the splendor of Hashem. ויתן ליבו שעתיד הוא להתבע ולהשיב לעתיד אם התבונן בזה כפי כוחו. I have intention that you will too return and come back in the future to all of this splendor of Hashem, right, according to your power and your ability, and by way of that you will be reaching ira, which is rooted in Gevurah, by way of your contemplation on the splendor and the glory of Hashem Yitbarach, which is the midah of Tiferet. 3 contemplations between man and man. כשאדם מקיים מצוות תוכחה בחברו, when a person goes to rebuke his friend, יראה לעשות זאת בתפארת וכבוד. Try to do it with glory and with mercy and with honor. כגון שלא יאמר לו כך וכך עשית. Don't tell him you did this and this. ועונשך כך וכך, and your punishment is going to be this and this. שבזה ממשיך את מידת הדין על חברו ונמצא מזיק לו. By way of this, you're bringing down judgments onto your friend and you're actually affecting him, doing damage to him. אלא ילביש את תוכחתו בסיפור. Rather, you should take your rebuke that you want to say to your friend and put it in a story. וממנו יבין חברו את טעותו. From that, your friend should understand his mistake. ואין צריך לומר כשרואה טעות באביו או ברבו, and we don't even need to say if you see a mistake by way of your father or your parents or your rabbi, שאסור לו מצד הדין להוכיחה בפניהם. It's forbidden on the judgment from actual halacha, you're not allowed to give them rebuke, your father, your mother, and your rabbi. אלא יש לו לשאלם בדרך נאה ומפורט. You should ask them in a nice, beautiful way of tiferet. לימדתנו רבנו כך, right? Rabbi, you taught us this once, right? Or father, you said this once to me when I was younger, right? מה באור מבואר במקום פלוני. Right? What is you explain to me about this and this in this place, and you will be reaching Gvura, which is the rebuking by way of Tiferet, by way of doing it in a beautiful, splendid way, with honor and mercy on the people. Second contemplation, כשמתגבר בגבורה ליצרו הרע, when you overcome your יצר הרע, יראה שבגבורה זו ימצא חן ושכל טוב בעיני אלוהים ואדם. Try to, with that, find glory and favor in the eyes of Hashem and man. עד שיבואו הבריות לפארו על מעשה גבורתו, until the creations come to see the glory in your mighty act. ואין צריך לומר שלא ירננו עליו וייתן ליבו מאמר חז"ל, right? You don't need to be worried about them coming and praising you too much. Bring to your heart what the rabbi said, איזו חסיד שוטה, כגון שרואה אישה טובת בנהר ואינו מצילה. Who is a foolish, pious man, one who sees a woman drowning in the river and he doesn't want to save her. Why? Because it's a woman and I can't touch women, and that's foolishness. That's not the Torah. Rather, keep what's written in the Torah, in Mishle, in Proverbs, right? All the wisdom you have to do with proper consciousness, with proper knowledge of Hashem. You will be rectifying your Gevurah, which is overcoming your Yetzirah and doing acts of might by way of Tiferet, by way of doing what's really written in the Torah in the proper way with splendor and beauty, right? Like it says in Masachet Avot, Ezu derech she'avor lo adam, kol shehi tiferet lo oseh v'tiferet lo min ha'adam, right? What is the path that a person should go on in life? Anything that is gloryful for those who do it, right? And it does good for you. It balances the person. It does well for the person. The third contemplation, כשאדם דן לחברו, when a person judges his friend, או כשהוא מברר ומלבן דין לחברו, or when he's being a mediator for a judgment of his friend, יראה לדון דין אמת לאמיתו. Try to make sure you're doing proper justice, proper judgment to the ultimate truth, which is Tiferet. וייתן ליבו את מאמר חז"ל, bring to your heart what the rabbi said in Masechet Avot, שאמרו על 3 דברים העולם קיים, על האמת ועל הדין ועל השלום. 3 things the world exists on, 3 pillars that the world exists on. One is the truth, one is the judgment, and one is meaning justice, and one is peace. In Samishlimit Midat Gvura, you will be rectifying the Midat of Gvura, which is the judgment, Al Yedei Midat Tiferet, which is the truth. And Bizat Hashem, those are the contemplations between man and man. In the body part, when you do an action that has mercy on the creations, which is an act of Tiferet. Also, when you're learning the written Torah, the 24 books of the Torah, yishtamesh beyad small, use your left hand, which is rooted in Gvura. You will be rectifying the body part of Gvura, which is the left arm, by way of an act of Tiferet, which is either having mercy on the creations or learning the written Torah. In time, try to give glory and do amazing acts that Hashem will take splendor in and look down on glory with us, and to have mercy on the creations, specifically in the afternoon, which is the time of Gvura. Second contemplation, השתדל לכוון בתפילת 18 בברכת רפאנו ובתפילת מנחה שתקרא יצחק. When you get to mincha, try to have extra kavanah on the blessing of healing of Refaenu, which is rooted in Tiferet, and do that specifically in mincha, which is rectified by Yitzchak, which is the vehicle in the chariot for Gevurah in the world. Third one, Kshemaskir Shem Havaya, when you mention the name Yudke Vavke, which is rooted in Tiferet, Yichaven bo, have extra contemplation, specifically in the time of mincha, which is the time of Gevurah. And the acquisition of the Torah for today is Bidikduk Chaverim, which is, picking your friends properly, being specific with your friends, being precise with who you hang out with.